Welcome back to halftime. It is time for our calls of the day, starting with Salesforce, she tried to say. Deutsche Bank raising its price target to $365 from $325. Rob, this is you because you own this name.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that's happened is software has become one of the best performing parts of the market over the last few months. I think there was initial concerns that software would be slow to benefit from AI and adopt AI, and corporate spend was going to go entirely towards infrastructure. These themes now of them adopting software to make the implementation of that better or allow for the implementation of that and the monetization of that is becoming a tailwind into 25. And typically, as Dan Ives always says, when you see $1 spent in infrastructure, you see a multiplier effect in the spend on software. And I think the time between those has been shortened materially. And this is a name that had lagged and is up quite a bit since we added to the exposure there, and initiated.
And Kevin, you got out of this. Why?
We had this in our new really high-octane growth strategy, and we rotated into some things that are a little bit more high-octane that we can get into. But we're actually looking at this for our dividend strategy, if you can believe it. They've been paying a nice dividend for the past few quarters. Everything that Rob mentioned makes it something that we're attracted to. It's been on our board for a while, so we really like the name. It was more just a rotation maybe from the high-octane growth into the more conservative dividend strategy.
Before I get to Jim, I want to air some sound that we actually heard from Altimeter's Brad Gerstner yesterday on software. If we can play that, let's get a reaction after.
I look at massive tailwinds over the course of the next 5 years. I think they're going to be incredible winners. 2025 is going to be about picking winners and losers. Software clearly in the back half of this year was one of those winners, and I think we're just getting started. We're still trading under that 10-year average.
Jim, you own a number of software names. What do you make of those comments from yesterday?
Well, I mean, I agree, and I wish I owned Salesforce, but one of the names that I own instead of Salesforce is Adobe, and Adobe's been caught in this weird situation where their last quarterly report, it was perceived that they missed because there were earnings that were pushed off probably to the first quarter of next year. I think that actually provides the opportunity, but it hasn't been anywhere near as good as Salesforce, I have to admit that.
We own it too, though. It's an unbelievable opportunity. I agree with you.
Exactly. There's the point. And, you know, particularly, this is an AI beneficiary. Also own Microsoft, although I've been trimming that quite a bit. The one name that's just been just a heroic name is Oracle. Now, it used to be a pure software company. Now it's much more of a hyperscaler company, more of a services company, but it still has a high software component. The bottom line is this. I'm exposed to it. I believe that Brad is absolutely correct that this is the place you want to be next.
I mean, I kind of think of Oracle as the same as IBM, because now about 49% of their revenues is software, but it doesn't get a lot of the attention. We also know that their AI business, it's like a $4 billion book of business. It was only $1 billion even just last quarter alone.
Talking about IBM.
IBM, yeah. Okay. But you talk about Oracle, yeah. and I don't think, I mean, and I think it's done a really great job, and I also think IBM has also done a really good job. And so I think there are some of these, I don't know, legacy,
kind of hybrid names.
Right, legacy companies that have kind of changed their stripes that aren't getting that multiple. So I think that they actually can outperform going forward.
Kevin, you're out of Salesforce, but you're buying into Electronic Arts. Why? What do you see?
Yeah, this is one of the plays that we think can actually monetize AI, because we're always trying to figure out where can you make money on artificial intelligence. And from a coding perspective, we think that they can be far more efficient, that they can bring games to market more quickly, and that they can do it less expensively with artificial intelligence. 23% expected revenue growth, which is pretty powerful, and the branding is unbelievable. The FIFA World Cup, Madden, they're bringing back the college sports football. All of these things are wonderful brands, and this is not a reason we bought it. This isn't part of the thesis, but the idea is that when Microsoft bought Activision, this is a company that sits out there and could be a potential candidate if M&A comes back, or a company that's larger would like to have them as part of their arsenal.
A way to play AI without owning a name that rhymes with Schmividia.